Hey, I'm Kev Hillman. Welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross as Hillman's on a run. Can he continue jogging towards victory around the AT&T Stadium? As his high side warming up for 3 qualifying efforts with a horrible jump to begin things off with. He's going to tight right hand. Get out of here, Daddy. Have to take the high line. Just let him stay in front then. Let's go over the whip section. Well, for high side, it has been a superb couple of events where it's not been jogging to victory, should I say, it's been sprinting. He definitely has been the class of the field. And it hasn't really been that close. Yeah, he had to work a bit last time out in Oakland, but he had the pace. He just made way too many mistakes in the race to make it pretty interesting in the end. So we make that a triple. Can we make this a triple? And a double. And then I stacked it. And then into the blocks on the outside. And then that leads into another triple, hopefully. This is a very interesting course. It's all about the jumps. Very high mounds. Only one whoop section, but not a short circuit, is it? Feels like it is. It's not quite like opening, does it? Is it going 3 wide in qualifying already? Does it go out of the hairpin? Eyesight already back then, and once again outbreaks himself into that left-hander. That seems to be a very deceiving left-hander. He can really push it under the brakes. Get the bike deep into the corner, but just asking for trouble if you do. There we go, makes that a triple. No, stacks it. And look at that, totally kills his momentum. What are you doing over these jumps high side? Does he really need momentum heading into that right hand? And once again, he's outbraked himself trying to take the high line. But he needs to be low side rounder. We will see. He's another horrible that time. He needs to be around 1:0. Probably 1 minute as he crashes again. Let's see if he can keep it together for his final qualifying effort. Otherwise, he's going to be low down in the gate, which makes it more difficult heading into the first couple of corners. Goes over the whoop section. Definitely have to use a bit more of the brakes heading into these corners. There we go. A bit earlier into that hairpin, and then he messes up the jump. He is not going to have a good qualifying position. This Texas circuit, a bit longer to learn it maybe. That's it, that's how you get into that jump and into that jump. And slow down. And carry lots of momentum into that jump. That is how you do that section high side. Again, nice double. Then there's the final section. He does a minute 0.9. That's Justin Hills at the top with a 59.6, but Hillman recovers an awful qualifying with that final lap. 1.2 seconds back in the top 5, just behind Aaron Plessinger, Martin Davalos, and Shane McElrath, with Austin Fortler in 6th. Then Jeremy Martin, Jimmy Cortez, Mitchell Oldenburg, and Jesse Nelson rounds out the top 10 on his KTM. So let's see what the heat races bring with Kevin Wilson at the back on his Suzuki. Let's see his high side alongside Martin, Davalos and Hill as he revs it up at the start of this race. He gets underway with a pretty good start. That might be the best he's ever gotten in Supercross, but everyone runs wide. The first couple of corners, it's a bit all over the place. People are flying everywhere. It's a bit like Disaster Movie. Except we've got Hill and Hillman at the top. And we've got Jeffrey as well. Where's he come from? As high side got no momentum over the rest of the jumps. Stowe runs wide into the blocks. Horrible run. He's got Martin behind in set for did as now high side being taken out by Chase. What is that arsehole doing on the Honda? Has he got Richard behind, and we've got Martin as well. Oh, now Highside goes into the back of Chase and he does nothing. He just slams on the brakes. As there goes Hillman just chopping him off. Oh, and then he gets the back end out too much. Somehow he's still in sixth despite a couple of falls. Now here comes Hasvana for that position. They're just not getting the grip and traction out the corners. That's an interesting few jumps. But he survives just about, does Hillman. And oh, he doesn't quite make that a triple. Look at that, just kills the momentum over that last section. And Davalos takes sixth. As Hillman's got something to find for the main event. He is just not in a rhythm around this track. Needs to find it in the rest of this race. And then carry it on into the main event. Can't be learning and getting that rhythm in the main event. You need it beforehand. And then just tighten it up in the main event. That's how he's been so good in the last couple of races since being bullied. A return visit to Anaheim. So go momentum into the jumps. No! Well, he gets ahead of Richard Jones. And too much momentum into the hairpin. Look at that. Lucky the box save him on that occasion. Now he's behind his favourite Honda rider. This will be interesting. See how this goes. As you can see, Hasvana riding towards the front. But Hillman at least finding some momentum this race. He gets right in the back of Chase again. Oh, and then jumps round the outside of the Honda. That sets a minute point two. That's more like it. It's Justin Hill riding away again in the front in the heat race. We've got Hay Raskincon in front. Or Rascon. I don't know where I found the in. As you can see Hillman and Chase doing battle. As always, that Davalos having a bit of an issue in front. And to pick his bike up from fourth. And oh, now does Hillman. As he gets nudged down by the Hasvana. And again, down. He could be out. Might have to go into the last chance qualifiers. He's in ninth ahead of Jeremy Martin. With a couple of laps to go. That's when it looks like he's found the rhythm. He's right out of it. He's got Mitchell Oldenburg in front. In the KTM. Head to the final couple of corners. Nice move down the inside. So he's up into eighth on the final lap now. As once again he's bashing forks with a Honda, but this time it's Casey Brennan who's down from seventh. He's got Richard Jones in front in sixth. His eyesight just about stays in front of the KTM. Oh, he really had to lean back there to stay on the bike. Gets good momentum on Richard Jones as well. Round the outside into the hairpin. Now can you carry that momentum into this set of jumps? Where you need the momentum. This really can make or break with that. Oh, and it's making high sides. Look at that. Fantastic. Makes that a triple just. And he's on the back of the Honda. Oh, could he make a cheeky move maybe into the final corner like he's done the last couple of laps? Oh, he can. He can take fifth, can he? Oh no, this is the final lap. I've been saying final lap for a long time. He's got Justin Hill leading for a long time ahead of Jeffrey. Let's look at this. Chase and Hillman. Best of friends doing battle. So he just about survives that jump. And it sets up good momentum heading into the hairpin. So he can just carry the momentum over these set of jumps. Hopefully. Well, that's not a good jump. Getting up to fourth is asking too much of the bike. Got to keep it in third, it looks like. as Justin Hill wins in his Kawasaki. Another supreme performance in a heat race. Can he actually get a good start though in the main event? He's got Jeffrey in second, Harry in fourth, and Kev Hillman rounds out the top 5. Just ahead of Mitchell Oldenburg, Richard Jones, Casey Brennan, and Jeremy Martin makes it through. Chase misses out in 10th. Really not going from side to side at all. Behind the screen here has, looking at the back, you've got Connor Pierce to make it through to the last chance qualifiers. But what can Kev Hillman do in the main event? It looks like he got it together on those last couple of laps. As before we go to the main event, we get a few new titles and a prestige helmet. As no one can stop me, I believe in myself and Suburban Rider. Well, definitely those bottom two have applied to Hillman in the last couple of events.
Welcome to one of the most spectacular venues in the world, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The superstar athletes of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship are ready to battle for the win. Who will grab the whole shot? You can hear the cheers. He is the crowd favorite. Will that be too much pressure or the motivation for him to get the win? The riders are lined up. The gate is about to drop. Who will get the whole shot?
As high side lines out towards the middle, alongside a couple of KTMs and the Gottes. Let's get underway. Not quite as good a start as the heat event. We saw Crazy gets on the inside. That's why high side trying to cut back, but just hits the block, kills his momentum over these jumps. But at the outside line, it looks like he's making a couple of manoeuvres and gets up into 7th, is that? As he battles for the top 5. And look at this momentum he's carrying over these jumps. He tries to go down the inside, and he's down. Down to 9th. Jeffrey had a poor start, down to 10th. Got Johnny behind in 11th. So for high side, a promising start. He's gone a bit Pete Tong as he does battle with Johnny. But the last couple of corners makes a nice manoeuvre around the outside of Philip Nicoletti, and it's that Richard Jones as well. It's Justin Hill down in 17th. Really needs to sort out his starts. Or is it Richard Jones, should I say? Just like this now, we've got a three-way fight. 4-8. It's all high side being pushed from behind. Oh, but Comfy makes that jump, makes this a triple. That's what he needs to do. That's the momentum you can carry through those set of jumps. Now into the main set of jumps. Ahead of Carl Chisholm now, as he battles and searches for a top 5. Goes down the inside of Plessinger. He's got Jeremy Martin in front. The team Plessinger mess up the jumps. Here comes the Honda again from Carl Chisholm. I think it's the Honda. He's got some red. And here comes high side round the outside in the final corner though, as he sets a minute point 4 for his first fly now. That's not too bad at all. He battles for a top 5. Gets pushed wide by Chisholm though. Goes wide himself. The manoeuvrability of this bike is awful on this surface. It's so much better. Maybe it's a bit harder. Surface here in Arlington. No, it doesn't look like it, does it? So kills the momentum in the first part of the jumps, but then sets up into the hairpin. Takes a high line, and oh, Chisholm gets in the way as he tries to cut back, and Aaron goes, goal. And look at this, it's killed high side's momentum into the jumps. Look at that one little manoeuvre at the start of the jumps. And he has to fall behind Aaron Plessinger down to 6th because of it. Yeah, that killed his momentum even to the big jump. Just got no momentum for the rest of this lap. What is he doing out there? He's like a turd trying to ride a motorbike at the moment. He goes into the final couple of jumps. Look at it, lost 4 seconds that lap compared to his previous lap, thanks to Chisholm. It's an incredibly wide bike. He's got Jeremy Martin in 4th. It's going to be a tough ask. The high side to win this event. It's almost drifts wide again into that hairpin. As that block is doing freaking havoc for a couple of riders. It's high side round the outside of Plessinger into the top 5 though. Here's Ferry Yamaha. He's got Jesse Nelson just 3.8 ahead in third place. So podium definitely possible for Highside if you just keep this momentum up. You can see the two riders in front going more like human figures rather than blurs, as Sergio wants to do battle on his Yamaha, but if they just work together they can catch third and fourth right in front. And look at 57.5. Where does that come from? As he slides down the inside of Jeremy Martin into fourth. Down the inside of Jesse Nelson, not quite fourth. Third as he's got Mitchell Oldenburg in second. As Jeremy Martin tries to slide down the inside, as you can see off Highside. As killed his momentum over the jumps. What are you doing, Highside? Come on. Finally gets momentum into the hairpin, but now Jeremy Martin's been a roadblock. Too big a roadblock. We've got to keep in third, remember? Now he's stacking it at the end of those jumps. Needs to keep the momentum up though, heading into no momentum. Look at that, awful. He's losing seconds. Luckily, Pessinger's dropped back in sixth, but that was a horrible set of jumps, and look how important that is in the context of the lap. He's lost again 4 seconds thanks to being so poor over those jumps. So no, he's down. Still remains in fifth as Chase is down in 21st. Just need to point that out. But he should be in the podium spot, Highside. Now look at this, he's battling to stay in the top 5. So your two leaders are together. They're distracted as well as we're in the second half of this race. Highside needs momentum, needs to attack. The top two are battling. Third and fourth who are battling. Everyone's battling in front. You can just concentrate. This clean air to catch up to them. Getting with third and fourth. So he stacks the jump though. Keeps the momentum up though over the jumps. Going into penultimate corner, a bit wide over the jumps. Down the inside, is he? No! Look at that, killed his momentum, landed on the block again. Oh, now here comes someone for battle. It's Pleasinger again. And this will just slow them both down if they battle. So Pleasinger is smart enough to back off. You would hope. For a Yamaha runner. So there you go, making all those doubles work. Says, what was that from Jesse Nelson? Landing on Highside. As here it goes. The Yamaha 4 podium. Down the inside, Jeremy Martin. No, pushed wide. Has to rejoin the track. Right behind the Honda. They're still locking wheels. Let's go to the final couple of corners of the lap. Mitch Oldenburg in second is slowing. It looks like as Highside takes that podium spot. Look at the top two right in front. Jimmy Cottis leads on his Honda. Just as what is going on there? The bike just auto stopped. What the hell? And it's cost Highside another podium shot, even though you can see the top two right in front as well. Once again, he's beating himself up with stupid mistakes this race. He should be battling for the win. So he's battling for fourth at the moment with Jesse Nelson. No, momentum is killed again over these jumps. Come on, got to regain it for these last couple. As he goes very wide though. And then that's allowed Pleasinger back through into fifth. Come on, Highside, get it together, you idiot. For these last couple of laps. Fastest at 57.5. He's not been close since then. He's 5 seconds slower at that, but he's still just 3.3 off the lead. If he just gets a lap together, he'll be right up there with the leaders. But he can't when he's battling with his teammate. Once again, Pleasinger being an idiot, trying to battle when he can see riders in front. He's even tipping around his teammate, kills his momentum into these jumps. Not as bad as Jeremy Martin was that, dropping back round the outside of Jesse Nelson. That's more like it. He's got momentum. No, he doesn't. Into the final jump. What the hell? How did he manage to stack it there? As now Jeremy Martin rides into him in the air. That's very smart from the Honda rider. Now he pushes him wide onto the blocks. Are you kidding? Again. Just when it looks like he's gaining room and he gets on the podium, he drops back again. So you've got a couple of laps to go back into the top 5. Temporary though. Against Jeremy Martin. Now forces the Honda rider wide. As in, he can earn a podium easily. He can earn a top 5 easily if Jeremy Martin falls like that. Like he's on FIFA or something. So they go over the jumps. No, he stacked it again. Come on, get the momentum into the corner. Needs it for these set of jumps. Very important set. Again, no momentum. Again, over these jumps, and it's costing him seconds. And then over the massive jump again. Absolutely awful. He should be battling for third with Plessinger and Nelson. Should be battling for the win. Should be battling for second. But heading on to the final 2 laps, he's just battling to hold on to the top 5. And this is important, the championship with the likes of Makarov. Davos, not doing well. Davalos. Getting a podium here is important. But he's not going to be getting it. He's going to be getting 5th, it looks like. Because of so many silly mistakes. Then when he finally gets momentum, he crashes like that, like an absolute idiot. So he's got Jeremy Martin in front of him. Don't know what he's trying to do over those set of jumps, apart from just be stupid again. So you go into the air, that's it, that's what he needs to be doing. He needs to be getting through into the top 5. Around the outside of Jeremy Martin. He's fallen a few times and someone's still battling for 5th. His high side had enough of his battle. Once again, 4 seconds slower than his fastest lap. He's 8.4 behind Decotis. He leads by 2.4 ahead of Oldenburg. He's got Plessinger right on his tail, 4 seconds. And what the hell? How is he down there? Now look at this, he's got Casey Brennan coming down his inside. How has he hit that block? He was wide of that block. As he's got Justin Hill in 8th. Highside not even getting a top 5 from this event. If this cost him the championship because he couldn't get a podium, he'd be kicking himself. As he's got Jeremy Martin in front, pushes him onto the blocks though. As Decotis wins ahead of Plessinger. Plessinger in 2nd. That should have been Highside. Instead, he might nick 5th at the line. He does. But what a race of could have beens for him. As Decotis wins after 12 intense laps by just half a second of Plessinger in the end. Oldenburg in 3rd, Jesse Nelson 4th. Look how close it is between that top 3 in different manufacturers. Good to see how competitive Supercross is. But for Hillman in 5th, he had the pace. He just made so many mistakes. Just could not get into a consistent rhythm around this track. With Jeremy Martin 6th, Casey Brennan 7th, Johnny in 8th, Martin Davalos in 9th. The championship leader. Then you've got Carl Chisholm in 10th. Justin Hill fell down to 11th on that final lap. Chris Howe in 12th. Shane McElrath in 13th on his KTM. And Philip Nicoletti on the Suzuki with his fellow Suzuki Richard Jones at the back.
That was a race he will try to predict quickly. All you can do is put it behind you, get back out to the practice track, and start preparing for the next race.
Oh no, they got Jeff to try and calm him down. Yeah, that will work. As he is 12 points behind Davalos. He should be right up there alongside Aaron Plessinger. He's up to 2nd now, 6 points ahead of the KTM, with Mitchell Oldenburg up to 5th. 11 points behind Hillman. And Justin Hill, the big loser this race, down to 6th for 90 points back. You've got Jemmy Martin. Jemmy got this up to 8th after his victory ahead of Jesse Nelson and Cole Chisholm. As we look through the field, you can see Casey Brennan in 19th in his Yamaha after a decent result. Jeffrey up to 23rd. So on another Yamaha. As we've now got 33 riders scored points so far this season. Jeffrey Kittner at the back on his Honda. So a pretty disappointing result for Hillman, as he's still got a top 5, a slightly under almost for Kevin. We didn't manage to perform well, obtaining less points than expected by GoPros. This Ralph Sheen definitely true that. Getting back on top, believe, says Justin Miller. That's how you do it, high side. He's still got a lot to show and is doing his best, says Katrina and the Waves. And then there's Eddie from the last event. He's actually not bothered to say that anymore. We're off, well done, high side. Obviously he's broken for this race, but maybe a return around CenturyLink Field, Seattle, if Hillman returns to the podium and maybe the victory as well, spraying the champagne. We will see next time out south. Watching, we'll see ya then.